You guys knew I was dropping this video today. You knew I was running to the microphone. Shedeur Sanders elevated to the QB2. We've been on Shedeur Sanders' watch ever since we were watching all the practice clips and people were wondering about the situation. Today, we're going to deep dive this a little bit more, looking at some of the interviews. Before we dig in, though, we need to click that subscribe button right now because we're digging deep when it comes to what's going on with these players. We're on Shedeur Sanders' watch. I'm helping you win money in fantasy football. That's what I mainly do, but I cover a lot of practice clips in the off season, and the practice clips led me to this side quest. Click that button. Stop missing out. But he is the QB2 going into this week.
Decided yet if Shedeur is ready to be your number 2 quarterback for this game?
Yeah, Shedeur will be the backup.
You're thinking in that?
Yeah, like I told you guys on Wednesday, I'm always thinking about our players and what's best for our players, and I want to make sure when it comes to young football players, particularly at the quarterback position, that you are intentional about your decision making, and that's really all it is. So excited for all of our guys.
We might see him on the field this week. Gabriel takes the wrong hit, throws 4 picks, whatever. We might see him on the field this week.
They just put a lot of pressure on Dillon Gabriel. They did. Because next week, let's not forget, right? This is a team that told Joe Flacco to go pack in the first time so they could bring Deshaun Watson in and have a clean runway, so there wouldn't be any debris on the runway. There wouldn't be fans off on the side screaming and yelling, going, "Oh, why isn't Joe playing? Joe's the one that helped us get to the playoffs." Blah 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 blah. So they cleared the runway on that. What they did to Dillon Gabriel today by making Shedeur the backup, which I'm good with. Let me finish my point.
Okay, please finish.
All they did to Dillon was, let's just say it's 80 degrees out, 90 degrees out, and you go sit in your car, and you've got a little extra coin, and you've got the heated seats, and you see the little markers off on the side. Yeah, there's 1, just mildly warms your seat a little bit. 2, it's a little bit warmer, but you're not sweating. 3, it's getting a little crispy. And 4, you're sweating. And you're sweating the bad sweat, right? You're like, I'm driving, and this isn't good. Because I got to tell you, whatever kind of car he's driving next week, if things don't go right, it's like sitting down on that chair in your car when you know you're going to start sweating because the seat is going to be hot because the fans are going to be screaming for Shedeur. That is going to happen at the next home game.
Best case scenario, we get a full week of practice as the quarterback 1, and we go up against the Miami Dolphins at home. Softer defense, a good game script coming up, projected, and we rock it. We rock it. And the Cleveland Browns fans would win because they get what they want at quarterback. They get what they want there in terms of pregame entertainment with the beat writers, with the talk and everything else, something to get them excited.
This is the goal of the Browns this year with Shedeur. The goal of the Browns with Shedeur is to have guys like us, media, everybody, say that the Browns wasted their time with the other guys who played for this team, and they should have just started Shedeur Sanders. Because that will have meant that they have prepared Shedeur correctly within a new offense, because the offense will have to change. They've prepared Shedeur correctly. Shedeur has the confidence in himself. The team has the confidence in him, and he's went out there and he's played well. That's the goal of the Browns this year. The goal of the Browns is to be ripped apart for winning games with Shedeur Sanders. And by the way, they could end up being meaningless games. Meaningless.
Well, they'll be very meaningful to us.
He could go out there. Yeah, but I mean, in the terms of like where you are in the standings and going to the playoffs and things, like he could go out there and play. I put like November 9th or November 16th somewhere in there. Like, okay, if you get to December, late November, December, you're probably out of the race. And then Shedeur's playing, and say he starts 5 games. Say he starts Tennessee through Cincinnati, and he looks good in the month of December and early January, and we call it a 2025. I want people on the air. The Browns should want people on the air ranting and raving that they've wasted they should be wanting people to call for firings because they've wasted their time. Record this. Of all the things you record, their goal should be people wanting them to call for them to be fired because that means they've prepared Kevin has prepared Shedeur correctly. Because you'll call in and you'll say, he should still be fired because he doesn't know what a good quarterback is. He had a good quarterback there the whole time, and he was the third-team emergency quarterback for how long? You wasted your time with Bailey Zappi because he'll probably play for how long? That's what their goal should be. And Kevin could turn right on around and go, no. You don't know where he was back in the month of September and October. I do. I know that he would be ready later on. We had to get him ready. And there you go.
During this practice time, they better get him some time with the ones. Get him acquainted. Since they did not do that in training camp, get him acquainted with the ones. They view him good enough to be the QB2 off the bench, and also with a week's practice, this is good. They did not put Zappi over him. I think that would have been ignorant. That would have been dumb.
Ocho, what are we doing? It's already been reported that Bailey Zappi was taking a lot of the practice squad snaps.
Kevin Stefanski is really enjoying this moment. Kevin Stefanski is making the Browns organization basically Jerry Springer. He's making a mockery of the situation and enjoying it. Just announce the goddamn quarterback. Who's quarterback number 2? Why are we playing these goddamn mind games?
The report said Bailey Zappi was getting the practice squad. They signed him off somebody else's team and put him on their practice squad. He comes in, are taking reps that Shedeur should be getting. So with that being said, I understood the assignment. I'm not so sure Cleveland know what they're doing. Maybe they're waiting on Deshaun to come back. I don't know, Ocho. They've made a mockery of this. We gonna let it play out. I'm trying to, what you gonna let play out? I'm trying to figure out what can someone do in a week of practice, Ocho, that's gonna change your mind from where you stand right now to move like, oh, well, he had a great week of practice. Whoop-de-doo.
That would have been dumb in multiple different levels. What's Zappi going to do for you anyways? Like, maybe. Well, let's say it was even better. Like, what's he going to do? Like, is he going to win enough games to get you to the playoffs? We already know the answer to that. Why not try to develop that rookie? Why not try to get him some opportunity? Now, what I meant there was, like, a what-if scenario. Shedeur is obviously better than Zappi, has more upside and everything else. But again, when you just look at it, just spreadsheet football, you got a young prospect here that you got in the 5th round that was projected to go in the 1st. You got him on day 3 draft capital. You got 2 first-round picks. You got your other rookie quarterback here you drafted in 3rd. You got 1 game under his belt, and we saw the practices. If it's not hitting and you got to go to that 5th rounder that was projected to be a 1st rounder, take the name out of it. You want to see what you have there before you move on to those 2 first-round picks, because that day 3 contract is super cheap. Super cheap. You got an elite defense. You're building up to an elite running back with good depth behind him. You got to build a wide receiver. You got to build an offensive line. And you got 2 first-round draft picks. And then a cheap quarterback contract that you can use for multiple years on Shedeur Sanders. So if Gabriel is not panning out, allow him to fall on that knife. He's either going to get out of it and play well or fall on that knife. Let it happen. Just let it happen. But if Shedeur hits that upside, you got that on the cheap and you saw it through. That's the thing about that. The thing about this franchise, the thing about this team, they don't develop their players. They're not trying to develop these young quarterbacks. They did not manage this appropriately. Nobody was on the same page. Front office to coaching staff. Nobody was on the same page. Not everybody wanted Shedeur. Not everybody wanted both quarterbacks. I think drafting a mid-quarterback as a backup long-term in the 3rd round was kind of pricey. That's kind of pricey. I mean, the Bengals got Flacco for a good deal. Quarterbacks are going cheaper. You got quarterbacks 5th, 6th, 7th round that you could have for a backup, because you were looking at drafting another quarterback already with those 2 first-round picks. Don't tell me you weren't. Don't tell me you weren't. Don't tell me you're trying to get by with Gabriel in the 3rd round. Don't tell me you weren't doing that. You could have got another player, a mid-range draft pick, and the offensive line position in this draft was deep. It was a deep spot. I forget the flow, but you had some offensive linemen in that area that you could have went with. You could have went with not top-tier guys, but good developmental prospects. We cover the draft January, February, March, late December, mock drafts every day. I'm telling you, there was some meat and potatoes there where you could have went later on quarterback, take Shedeur out of this if you really wanted to go that route, and maybe it was not your guy or whatever. the thing about this, you guys killed the draft, though. You guys killed the draft. You were smart. You got another pick for last year. You killed it in the first round, killed it in the second round, killed it at linebacker, killed it at running back, got Fannin, got Shedeur real cheap. That Gabriel pick, that might be the pick that you scratch your head on. That might be the pick that you scratch your head on. You didn't know Shedeur was going to be there in the 5th. You didn't think he'd fall that far. You thought Gabriel was a fit. I understand. But context-wise, yes, great fit for a backup quarterback. He'll be a backup quarterback for a long time in the league. You also didn't have any starters. You had Kenny Pickett. You didn't have any starters. So you're looking for starter upside. That's not where you're going to be. And you also knew in the rearview mirror you had 2 first-round picks for a quarterback the next year. And you had that 3rd-round pick with some meat on the bone there in the draft that you could have pivoted to. And I'm just thinking offhand, there's some meat there that you could have went with there in the 3rd round. The 3rd round. That was a shocking selection in the 3rd round. You had quarterbacks not named Sanders on the board that you could have got cheaper. Maybe not your guy. Similar range and talent level that could have been just chilling as a backup if you wanted to develop. While on the opportunity cost, because really the focus is the other player in the 3rd round. There was meat on the bone, offensive line. For sure, wide receiver. It was a weak class this year. You already went running back. And running back was thinned out till we got to the 4th round. But you could have got a Scatterboo or something if you really wanted to press that button. You got Fannin in the 4th. Sampson in the 4th. That was a great value there. Great value for what he is. You're looking at what you did in this year's draft. You got Isaiah Bond. You got lucky with that. Like, this team's made some moves. It's just the quarterback spot. You just can't develop it. Like, you had no plans coming into this. You better plan it up. This is more than just putting him at QB2, see what he's got. If you're doing that, man, you're going to rock this and ruin this. If you're coming in like, hey, let's see what we got in this kid. Let's put our best foot forward. Let's game plan around him to his strengths. He'll push it downfield. He's accurate downfield. We got to make sure the pocket's adjusted right. We got to make sure our scheme's right. We got to keep Judkins back there. We got to make sure he's comfortable. We got to run the routes that work well with our wide receivers, that get them open quick, that they're good at, that they perform well at, that our team is good at. We just have to do that because we got to get things open. We can't get too chaotic and crazy and try to galaxy brain things. We just have to do what our team's good at when it comes to downfield plays. Jerry Jeudy has not been hitting the spec. Jerry Jeudy has not. Tillman's been out. This team's roughed up a wide receiver. This team's been nasty. Our offensive line, a nasty in the bad way, not the good way, because I always say nasty. Nasty in the bad way. And this isn't an optimal team right now. It's not. You got Judkins. You're going to lean on Judkins and play action deep. You just hope things click with what you got. Lean on those tight ends. Njoku, Fannin. He connects well with the tight end. We saw that in practice. I'm expecting him to connect with the tight end when he's out there. Shedeur Sanders, man, he's got a lot of opportunity here. He's going to capture. He's been looking solid as that ball's a miss. But when you're looking at this, if you're looking at Sanders coming in, it's nice whenever. I think for me, full week is QB1. Dolphins, home. Home fans get to see him. Home fans get to have something to be excited about. This team moved to Baltimore, then won a Super Bowl there, and then they had to sit with these quarterbacks every single year. Give them something. Give them something. You're not winning Super Bowl this year. Give them something. Give them something they can go to the game and be like, yes, let's see if he can do it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got before we burn 2 first-round picks to move up or do whatever with the draft. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. We fumbled Sashi Brown. You guys were building. You guys were building with analytics. You burned it to the ground. You used draft capital. You kept things cheap. Things were coming up. And then you got rid of them. You burned it to the ground. Looked like the team was coming up. You took all that capital and extra bankroll and burned it. Looked good for a second, and it went away. It went away. We saw that. We saw that in real time. Sashi Brown told you guys it would take multiple years to build. And you guys let him go away. You ended it when you knew it was going to be a multi-year project. Let him go. I would love to see how that team would have looked like if they let Sashi cook. If they let him use the analytics and how they were building back then instead of being impatient to get to this. I'm rambling. I don't know if I got enough clips to keep going with this. I'm rambling. I'm a Sashi Brown fan. I was a fan of that. That was interesting. The offseason, at least for the Browns, you looked at them and you're like, hey, this is getting fun. We know they're going to take some L's this year, but we know we're building to something. And then he goes, they use that bankroll. They used the Sashi bankroll. Of course, everybody came in looking good with that Sashi bankroll that he built up, that he was chipping away with the analytics, getting young, getting upside, building that team, getting productive players from college, getting that size-adjusted athleticism, taking advantage of that. He would have loved Shedeur there in the 5th round. He would have loved that. He would not have drafted Gabriel. Gabriel would not be on this team, guaranteed. If Shedeur was there in the 5th, that would have been, he would have went Shedeur in 3rd, guarantee it, at that price range. At that price range of him being projected to be in the 1st, no matter what the evaluation was, he would have took that shot. That shot would have been taken. Even if they did not like what they saw scouting-wise, he would have looked at that value-wise and said, we got to just see. We just got to see. Sashi Brown, I don't know how this became, like, it's just the Browns. It's just the Browns being the Browns. So they can't be the Browns here. They got to open up, get Shedeur ready. Get Shedeur ready to rock and roll against the Miami. I don't even know how I got here on Sashi Brown. I'm just here talking. I just got here talking. I don't know why I'm here now. I don't know. Like, just ranting on the Browns here. Just everything I've seen throughout my lifetime. You got to give the Browns fans something here. You got to give them something. He could bust for all I know. He could, but the fans need it. The fans need something. The fans need something for once. And you got the opportunity to do that. And you're thinking, well, what about Gabriel? What if then you got something for the fans if Gabriel plays well? If he does. But what we saw last week and what we saw in training camp, OTAs, minicamp, indicates no. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.